Listen carefully. What I'm about to tell you will sound like surrender, like giving up, like admitting defeat in the great game of becoming someone remarkable. It's not. It's the exact opposite. It's the only move left that the system didn't anticipate. The one choice that breaks the machine entirely. You're going to choose to be boring, deliberately, defiantly, as an act of profound violence against everything that taught you that your value is measured in stories worth telling. And when you do, you'll discover something the performers will never know, that the boring life isn't the consolation prize. It's the throne they were too busy performing to notice. This isn't self-help. This isn't optimization. This is a declaration of war against the algorithm of inadequacy that runs your entire existence. Stop performing. Start ruling. Let me show you what they did to you. You were 7, maybe 8 years old when they first taught you that being ordinary was a death sentence. Not with words. They were smarter than that. They taught you through their eyes. The way adults lit up when you did something impressive. The way they went dark when you were just you. A performance at the school play. Love flooded in. Pride. Attention. You mattered. A quiet Tuesday where you just existed. Silence. Indifference. You were furniture. You learned fast. Love is conditional. Attention is earned. Mattering requires proof. By the time you hit middle school, the lesson was carved into your nervous system. Your value isn't intrinsic, it's negotiated. Every single day. Through performance. So you started building, not a life, a resume, a highlight reel, a collection of proof that you deserve to take up space on this planet. And you've been building ever since. College wasn't education, it was branding. Your first job wasn't work, it was content. Your relationships aren't connections. They're collaborations in the mutual performance of having an interesting life. Every dinner party becomes an audition. Every vacation becomes proof of proper living. Every career move becomes a story you'll tell to justify your choices. You can't remember the last time you did something that didn't have an audience. Even if that audience was just the future version of yourself watching your memories, judging whether they were worth making. You're not living, you're auditioning. 24 hours a day, for a role you'll never actually get, in a play that never ends. Here's what's happening at the neurological level. Your prefrontal cortex, the part of your brain responsible for self-monitoring, never shuts off. You're perpetually watching yourself live, evaluating, judging, curating. This is why you're exhausted. Your brain is running 2 operating systems simultaneously, living and performing the living. It's like trying to watch a movie while filming yourself watching it while editing the footage in real time. The Greeks called it hubris. The Buddhists call it dukkha. Gracian, that savage Spanish Jesuit, called it the tyranny of opinion. He wrote in The Art of Worldly Wisdom, "A person of honor would rather fall in a noble enterprise than triumph in a base one." But here's what Gracian understood that you don't. Performing for the crowd is the basest enterprise of all. You think your hustle is noble, your ambition, your drive, your refusal to settle. You think you're reaching for greatness. You're not. You're running from silence, and silence is where God lives. Let me tell you what happens in the silence. The first time you sit with it, truly sit with it, no phone, no plan, no podcast filling the space between your ears, something terrifying occurs. You meet yourself, not the self you perform, not the self you optimized, not the self you show at networking events or post on LinkedIn. The actual self, the one underneath, the one you've been outrunning since you were 8 years old. And that self is not impressive. That self is small, petty, insecure, jealous, tired, so desperately tired. That self doesn't want to climb the ladder. It wants to lie down. It doesn't want the promotion. It wants a Tuesday afternoon with nowhere to be. It doesn't want to go viral. It wants to stop performing the personality that might go viral. That self wants to sit in a chair and watch the light move across the wall for an hour without feeling guilty about it. Wants to read a book with no takeaways. Wants to have a conversation that doesn't need to be interesting. Wants to exist without justification. Most people meet this self and run. Immediately. Back to the noise. Back to the grind. Back to the performance. Because that self, That real self feels like failure. But here's the truth they'll never tell you in a Tony Robbins seminar. That self isn't the failure. The performance is. The boring self, the ordinary self, the self that just wants coffee and sunlight and a book with no productivity value. That self is the only one that's real. Everything else is theater. And you're exhausted because theater is exhausting. You can't maintain a character forever. Eventually, the actor collapses. This is why burnout isn't a bug. It's a feature. It's your body's last-ditch immune response, trying to kill the parasite of performance before the parasite kills you. Your adrenal glands are screaming. Your cortisol levels are chronic. Your sleep is fractured because even in dreams you're still performing, still optimizing, still proving you deserve to exist. Shorin, that beautiful, miserable Romanian, saw this clearly. He wrote, "The mind is the result of the torments the flesh undergoes or inflicts upon itself." Your mind, your ambitious mind, your never-enough mind, is just the scar tissue from years of forcing yourself to be more than you are. Stop inflicting the torment. The scars will fade. What's underneath is what you've been searching for in all those passport stamps and productivity apps and 5 a.m. wake-up calls. Peace. Actual peace. The kind that doesn't need to be photographed to count. Now we enter the architecture of transformation. The 7 gates you must pass through to reach the throne of the ordinary. No one can do this for you. I'm not your guru. I'm your conspirator. I'm showing you the map the system doesn't want you to have. These aren't steps. They're layers of skin you must shed, each one painful, each one necessary, each one revealing more of the real underneath the performance. The first gate, recognition of the performance. You must see it clearly, not understand it, not analyze it, see it. Watch yourself perform in real time. Catch yourself mid-sentence, mid-post, mid-story and recognize, I'm doing it again. I'm performing my life instead of living it. This gate requires brutal honesty. Most never pass it. They'd rather die performing than admit the performance is killing them. Start here. Tomorrow, at lunch, eat alone. No phone, no book, no headphones. Just you and your food, and watch what happens. Within 2 minutes, you'll want to reach for something. Anything. To fill the space. To justify sitting there. To look busy. To look like you have somewhere more important to be. Don't reach. Just sit. Just eat. Just be someone ordinary having lunch. That discomfort you feel? That's not hunger for content. That's withdrawal from performance. Your nervous system is panicking because you're not doing anything worth documenting. Good. Let it panic. You're learning to tolerate being unremarkable. This is the first gate. The second gate. The accounting of cost. What has the performance cost you? Not in theory. In actual tangible loss. The relationships you sacrificed for the impressive job. The sleep you murdered for the side hustle. The moments you missed because you were documenting them. The person you could have been if you'd stopped pretending to be someone else. Write it down. All of it. The full invoice of what you paid for the right to seem interesting at parties. Your daughter asked you to play. You said in a minute because you were crafting the perfect LinkedIn post. That minute never came. She stopped asking. Your body asked you to rest. You ignored it because rest doesn't compound. You got sick. The sickness cost you 3 weeks of productivity anyway. Your soul asked you for quiet. You filled it with podcasts about optimization. Now you can't hear your own thoughts anymore. Seneca understood this gate. It is not that we have a short time to live, he wrote, but that we waste a lot of it. Your performance isn't making your life longer or richer. It's hemorrhaging your time, your one non-renewable resource. And for what? For the brief dopamine hit of someone thinking you're impressive? That's not a trade. That's a robbery. The third gate, the courage of ordinariness. This is where most fall, because this gate demands you become what you fear most, unremarkable. You must choose, actively choose, to do things that don't make good stories, to spend a Saturday doing nothing worth mentioning, to have a job that doesn't define you, to live in a place that isn't interesting, to be the person at the party with nothing exciting to report. And you must do this not as settling, not as giving up, but as an act of profound courage, as rebellion, as the only move that breaks the game. The boring life isn't the participation trophy. It's the hidden level the hustlers never find. Here's what this looks like practically. Someone asks what you did this weekend. The old you would inflate it, make it interesting. The new you tells the truth. Nothing much. Read, walked, existed. Watch their face fall. Watch them not know what to say. Watch them scramble to fill the silence with their impressive weekend. Don't rescue them. Don't perform. Just smile. Because you found something they're still searching for. The courage to be unimpressive. At work, someone asks about your 5-year plan. The old you had a speech prepared. The new you says, I'm focusing on doing good work and being present for my life. Well, watch them react like you said something in a foreign language. In a sense, you did. You spoke in the language of deliberateness. They only speak performance. The fourth gate, the cultivation of silence. Now you learn the technology they never taught you. How to sit. How to be. How to exist without filling every moment with noise. This isn't meditation. It's not mindfulness. It's deeper. It's learning to tolerate your own company without distraction. To befriend the self you've been fleeing, start with 5 minutes. No input, no output, just sitting, being unbearably, unfollowably, unprofitably present. This will feel like dying. It's not. It's waking up. The performance was the coma. Here's what happens in those 5 minutes. Minute 1, restlessness. Your body doesn't know what to do. It wants to move, to check, to do. Minute 2, anxiety. Thoughts flood in. Did I lock the door? What's that email mean? Am I wasting time? Minute 3, the breakthrough. For about 10 seconds, you glimpse something underneath. A stillness, a presence, you. Minute 4, fear. You realize how long it's been since you felt this, how much you've been running. You want to stop the exercise. Minute 5, choice. You either run back to the noise or you stay. You either return to performance or you sit with the real. Most run. You're not going to. Because you're reading this. Because something in you knows the performance is killing you. Because you're ready to be boring. The fifth gate. The practice of deliberation. Thoreau went to the woods not to escape society, but to face it on his terms. He wrote, I went to the woods because I wished to live deliberately, to front only the essential facts of life, and see if I could not learn what it had to teach. Deliberately. That's the word that changes everything. You're going to start choosing, not reacting, not performing, choosing. Every day ask, what do I actually want to do today? Not what should I do, not what will look good. What do I want? Most people can't answer this question. Their wants have been colonized by other people's expectations for so long they don't remember what wanting feels like. Find out. Start small. Do you want coffee or do you think you should want coffee? Do you want to go to that event or do you feel obligated? Do you want to start that project or are you just afraid of seeming lazy? Deliberation is surgery. You're cutting away the tumors of other people's ambitions that metastasized into your decision-making. Here's the daily practice. Morning. Before you check your phone, before you see what the world wants from you, ask, what do I want today? Not what will move the needle, not what will compound. What do I want? Evening. Before you scroll, before you decompress with content, ask, did I choose today or did I perform today? The gap between those two questions is your life, the real one. The one that's been waiting for you to show up. The sixth gate, the mastery of presence. You've stopped performing. You've cultivated silence. You've learned to choose deliberately. Now comes the hardest part. You must learn to be fully, devastatingly present for your boring life. Not waiting for it to get interesting. Not treating it as the prologue to something better. This is it. This is the thing. This unremarkable Tuesday. This ordinary conversation, this quiet hour with nothing happening. This is your life, not the rehearsal, the show. Can you be here for it? Can you pay attention to the texture of time when time isn't productive? Can you taste your food when the food isn't content? Can you love someone when the love story isn't worth filming? This is mastery. Most people live their whole lives waiting for their life to start, waiting to become impressive enough, successful enough, interesting enough to finally deserve to be fully present. They die waiting. You won't. Because you've stopped waiting. You've arrived, right here, in the boring, beautiful, unremarkable now. What presence looks like. You're having coffee with a friend. They're telling you about their life. The old you was half listening, half thinking about what interesting thing you'll say next. The new you is just listening, fully, without agenda. The conversation doesn't sparkle. It doesn't have quotable moments. It's just two people, present, sharing space. And afterward, you realize that was the most real thing you've experienced in months. You're at your job. The work isn't glamorous. It doesn't define you. But you're doing it, fully. Not performing competence, not building your brand, just working, being useful, being present for the task. And afterward, you realize you enjoyed it. Not because it was impressive, because you were there for it. The seventh gate, the sovereignty of quietude, the final gate, the throne. You realize something that changes everything. Your boring life isn't a compromise, it's a conquest. You're not settling, you're ruling. While everyone else is still running the hamster wheel of impressive, you're free, actually free. Not because you escaped the system, because you stopped playing its game. You're sovereign now, not over empires or markets or audiences, over yourself, your time, your attention, your definition of what makes a life worth living. And from this throne, you see something the performers never will. They're not free. They're slaves. Slaves to comparison. Slaves to metrics. Slaves to the next thing and the next and the next. You're done running. You chose the boring life, the deliberate life, the sovereign life. And it turns out, this was the throne all along. They just convinced you it was a cage, so you wouldn't try to claim it. The Romans had a concept, odium, not idleness, not laziness, noble leisure, time spent in contemplation, in deliberation, in presence. Time that produces nothing but enriches everything. This is your sovereignty, not the freedom to do whatever you want. The freedom to want what you actually want, not what the algorithm wants, not what your parents wanted, not what society says you should want. What you want, your boring, ordinary, unremarkable wants. They're yours. Finally. Now the protocol. The practical mechanics of defection from the performance. This isn't theory. This is the operational manual for your exit. Week 1. The audit track every performance. Every time you do something to be seen doing it. Every time you shape your behavior based on how it will be perceived. Every post, every story, every conversation where you're playing a character. Use your phone's notes app. Every time you catch yourself performing, write it down. Time, place, what you were doing, who you were performing for. By day 3, you'll be horrified at the frequency. By day 7, you'll see the pattern. You'll see that you're almost never not performing. This isn't judgment. This is diagnosis. You can't cure a disease you won't name. Week 2. The fast delete Instagram. Delete TikTok. Delete LinkedIn if you can afford it. If you can't, limit it to 10 minutes per week, scheduled, on desktop only. This will feel like amputation. Your phantom limb will ache. You'll reach for your phone 60 times a day and find nothing. Good. That's the addiction dying. Your brain will try to negotiate. Just for news. Just to stay connected. Just to support friends. No, these are the bargains of an addict. You're not moderating, you're abstaining. For 2 weeks, you can survive anything for 2 weeks. What you'll discover, most of what you thought was connection was performance. Most of what you thought was important was noise. Most of what you thought you'd miss, you don't. Week 3. The reclamation. Every day do one thing that's completely useless. Read a book that won't make you smarter. Take a walk with no destination. Cook a meal that won't be photographed. Have a conversation that won't be mined for content. You're retraining your nervous system, teaching it that existence doesn't require justification. Monday. Take a walk. No headphones, no destination. Just walk. Notice things. The color of the sky, the sound of wind, the feeling of movement. Tuesday. Read fiction. Not self-help, not business books. Fiction. Something that serves no purpose except beauty. Wednesday. Cook something simple. Eat it slowly. Taste it. Don't photograph it. Don't rate it. Just eat. Thursday. Call someone you love. Don't have an agenda. Don't solve their problems. Just talk. Be present for them. Friday. Do nothing. Literally nothing. Sit. Exist. Be. Saturday. Continue doing nothing. This is harder than Friday. Sunday. Reflect. Write in a journal. Not for an audience. For you. About what you noticed when you stopped performing. Week 4. The declaration. Tell someone you trust. I'm choosing the boring life. Out loud. Make it real. Make it public even if the public is just one person. This is the ritual of commitment. Once you speak it, you can't unknow it. You can go back to performing, but you'll know it's a performance. The innocence is gone. Choose carefully who you tell. They need to be someone who won't try to save you from your choice. Someone who understands that what looks like surrender is actually revolution. The daily practice. Every morning, before you check anything, before you do anything, sit for 5 minutes. No music, no podcast, no input. Just sit. Breathe. Exist without earning the right to exist. Every evening ask, did I live deliberately today? Did I choose, or did I perform? Don't judge the answer. Just notice it. Over time, the ratio shifts. Over time, you become real. So here's where we are. I've shown you the throne. I've given you the map. I've handed you the keys to the kingdom of ordinary. But I can't make you turn the key. Most won't. Most will watch this, feel something for exactly as long as it takes to open Instagram, and then return to the performance. Back to the hustle. Back to the exhaustion. Back to the slow death of never enough. They'll think they're choosing ambition. They're not. They're choosing fear. Fear of what happens when you stop running. Fear of who you are when you're not impressive. And that's fine. The world needs performers. Someone has to keep the algorithm fed. But you, if you're still here, if something in you broke open when I said you could stop, if you felt relief instead of fear when I said you could be boring, then you're ready. You're ready to commit the ultimate act of rebellion in a world addicted to performance. You're ready to disappear. Not from life, from the game. You're ready to become sovereign in your own unremarkable, deliberate, gloriously boring existence. Here's what happens next. Tomorrow, you wake up. Before you reach for your phone, before you check what you missed, before you start performing the day, you do one thing. You sit for 5 minutes in silence, just breathing, just being, just existing without earning the right to exist. That's it. That's the first move. It sounds simple. It's not. It's the hardest thing you'll ever do, because in that silence, you'll meet everyone you've been running from. Your fear, your inadequacy, your ordinariness. And you'll have to decide, am I brave enough to befriend these parts of me? Or will I run back to the performance? If you can sit with that silence, even for 5 minutes, come back to this video. Scroll to the comments, write 3 words. I chose the woods. Not for me. Not for the algorithm. For you. As a public declaration that you've defected from the performance, that you've claimed the throne of the ordinary. Because once you write those words, once you commit to the boring life, there's no going back. You can't unsee what I've shown you. You can't unhear the silence. You can't unfeel the peace that lives underneath the noise. You'll look at the performers, the hustlers, the optimizers, and you'll feel something strange. Not pity, not superiority, gratitude. That you stopped before you forgot who you were. That you chose the boring life before the impressive life killed you. The throne is waiting. It's been waiting your whole life. It doesn't care if you're successful. It doesn't care if you're interesting. It doesn't care about your highlight reel. It only cares if you're real. So here's the final question, the only question that matters. Are you brave enough to be boring? If the answer is yes, you know what to do. Write it in the comments. I chose the woods. And then tomorrow, sit in the silence. For 5 minutes. No phone. No plan. No performance. Just you, meeting yourself. Finally, the revolution doesn't start with a bang. It starts with a breath, in silence, in the most boring room of your life. Welcome to the throne.